on the injury front, and everybody, I know you said afterwards everyone came through the game, or Andy did.
Yeah.
Is everyone showing up okay now?
Yeah. After a few days of recovery, lads have come back in good spirits, and everyone was out there today. All 33 were out there running around.
And so is Jack Conan?
Jack is back. Jack is back. Training. It's all good.
So he will definitely be available for selection for
Yep.
Scotland.
Yep.
Great.
As long as like anything, I guess he's got a bit of work to get through, but certainly he's in a great place, and we're 33 men at the moment, fit and ready to go.
And after a few days off, obviously came at a good time. How did everyone feel kind of coming back in for training again today?
Yeah, it was good. I think it was always the plan to have that little break with the way the schedule was set out. So I think it was good timing for us to spend a bit of time with our families and coming back in. Everyone's in good spirits, and like I say, everyone's fit and well. And I think that's always a bonus when you come back in. Stu McCloskey's got to become a dad for a second time as well, which is great. So it's all good news.
Was he able to go home for that?
Was he able to go home?
I think he went back.
Yeah, he did.
Did he get injections under turn on the rules?
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, but he's happy man now.
Was that the few days break, was that needed mentally as much as it was physically after a game like that against South Africa?
I guess there's a lot of emotional energy spent out on a game like that. But no, I think that just the lads were in good form afterwards. We wanted to make sure that we really acknowledged the support that we had in Paris. And it's probably hard for those that don't get to travel to understand how impressive that was in the stadium, and hence why there was a good deal of just thanks, almost apart from anything else. The players were delighted and thankful that so much support was there in the stadium. But then also, there's a little bit of emotion around the result and the performance, but also understanding that we have a couple of really 2 weeks of really hard work now to build up to Scotland.
And what are the main areas that you take away from the South Africa game to focus on?
I think things that we could get better. Our discipline in the end, almost let them back in to have an opportunity to go and get a 5-metre drive, and probably a couple of penalties which are avoidable. So those are the sort of things we talk about a lot, but it's important that we stay on point and make sure that we don't give sides like South Africa the chance. Our maul defence at the end was excellent and put the game to bed. But there's those sorts of things that you want to make sure in the last 20 minutes you're on the front foot. We did well to get up the other end, and we got a scrum penalty to get the 3 points to take us to 5 points ahead. But I think we also gave them a little bit of a window to get back into our 22 and give them an opportunity to get some access at the end. So that's certainly an area that we need to make sure we stay on top of when we're building up to Scotland.
And just last one for me, both sides since Saturday have been complimented fairly universally for how low the tackling was. Like, we'd no visits to a TMO or anything like that. How much work is going into that sort of defence to make sure that we aren't going upstairs getting TMO checks and you're not running the risk of cards?
I think it has been for a while, but it's certainly at the forefront of the players' minds. They don't want to expose themselves or their teammates. But it's difficult. The game isn't perfect. There's movement late at the line, lots of unpredictability in terms of a ball carrier versus a tackler. So listen, it was a good day from that respect. No cards, and I think it was played in a really good spirit in terms of the way that the discipline was around that part of the game. But it's a constant work on for us, and I know all other teams are the same. We want to make sure that we don't give opposition and the officials the opportunity to have to make decisions on those things. So we're working hard at it every day.
Just on the theme of the game being played in good spirit, this isn't a trick question. Did you have any chat with Razzie? Razzie is, after all, a former Munster coach. He's well liked by certain people down there. Did you have a chat with him? And more importantly, the country's star for a bit of news about Felix Jones. Did you have a chat with him? Did you put him, say, around you?
I didn't. No, I didn't get to see. I spoke to John Klein briefly, but yeah, I didn't actually get to speak. I'm sure a few of the other coaches would have spoken to a couple of their coaches, but I actually didn't get the chance to speak to anyone after the game.
And then could you just double down and tell us about Johnny Sexton? He is 38. They ran down his channel 12 times. He managed to stay on the pitch for 72 minutes. So he's back training. Can you just kind of flesh it out? Tell us if he's running or not running or on balls down there.
He's good. Yeah, like he pitches up, every day with a smile on his face. He's. I've said it before, but he's the kind of heartbeat. He's the talisman of this side, and it's hard to get him off the pitch when he's in that mood, because he wants to be on there to the end. But it was the right thing to do. Jack came on and finished the game off really well. So listen, Johnny's good, as are all the other players currently.
Thanks. Last question, Ed.
Hi Simon. After the euphoria of a win like that, how easy or difficult is it to get the players to focus on to the next challenge?
It's not hard to focus on what's coming up, even though that might not be what people think. Listen, Scotland are a brilliant team. They have the ability to play lots of different ways. They can mix it up front with their forward pack, strong maul, scrum, as we saw against South Africa, but they can also play an expansive game with some exciting backs that can really hurt you if you're not on it. So listen, there's definitely no lack of focus for us. Like I say, we always plan to have that few days off, regardless of what the result was against Africa, and we knew that this final game of the pool would be pivotal.
By the time the game comes around, Ireland are going to be on 14 points, Scotland probably on 10. Ireland have the upper hand. But it is essentially knockout rugby now. Is that how you view it?
Yeah, for sure. We don't see anything other than Scotland getting what they need against in their last game against Romania. So we need to make sure that we prepare exactly how we prepared for the first three games against Romania, Tonga and South Africa, and that'll be no different.
The last question is Rory.
So just the turnovers, you're kind of either leading the way or above average in nearly every metric, but you're confident more turnovers than turnover average. Is that a concern, or is that just the nature of when you're playing with the ball the way you do?
It could be the fact that we probably have more possession than other teams. So by virtue of just when we've got more possession, there's more times that the opposition can get it back off you. So yeah, I think it's a constant work on for players going into contact, understanding what their roles are within looking after the ball, but also then the players who are supporting the guy into contact. And it's something that I guess it's really fundamental in this team, and it has been for a while. But it's certainly something that we need to keep touching on. It's almost daily, that type of thing, and how important it is to our game in terms of delivering good ball, but also quick ball. It's vital that we make sure that we don't dip away from that. But it's certainly something that we're constantly on both sides of the ball. But it's also you come up against some very good defensive as well that make it hard to retain your own ball. So I think it's a combination of things sometimes.
So I just asked about Jack, a bit more about Jack. Obviously he's been here 4 weeks now.
Jack Conan?
Yes, yeah. He's been injured since August the 5th, I think. How's he been through all this? And he's had to stay patient, presumably, for a long time. He
has, yeah. Jack is a really important part of the squad. He's good around the group, and I think at certain stages he's probably felt like it might not come right, but he's worked really hard with the conditioners, with the physios, with nutritionists. So I think he's done everything he can to get himself in this position, and I guess we've been fortunate with injuries in his position as well, that we haven't had to call upon him. So I think as a number of things have aligned to allow Jack to get himself right, and I think it was definitely the right thing for us. And when Faz talked about that position and him not having had the rugby coming into the World Cup, we all felt it was the right thing to do to have him and give him the opportunity. And I think we're starting to see the Jack that we'd like to have seen a few weeks ago, but obviously injury has not allowed him to be in that place. So he's in a good place, and there's no reason why he won't be available next week.